Been a while since I've gone ahead and made a video for you. But I'm actually going to do a video that I've been saying that I'm going to be doing, that I've wanted to do a video on since I started making vlogs. How's it going, old schoolers? You are kicking it old school. I am your host, Dr. Old School. Hey, how do you like the t-shirt, huh? Yeah, feel sorry for that stormtrooper, don't you? Anyway, I've been making, since I started doing this vlogging, I have been saying, I've been, doing all the basic fun, handheld videos. And the first time I did a vlog, I did one, the first video game that handheld retro game that I got my hands, that I actually, I'm actually kind of excited that I'm doing this finally, that I actually did for you was Centipede. And just a few months prior, I had bought the Space Invaders one, and I never did a vlog on it because I didn't know how to do vlogs or YouTube or anything like that. So, let me introduce to you the first basic fun arcade classic that I purchased. Space Invaders. Now, when Basic Fun first came out with these, these were exclusive at Walmart. They had the same exact packaging as I've shown in the previous videos, where I say, let's tear this bad Oscar open, shall we? But this one, it came in the same packaging, and this is the kind of shape, that they made it of. But, and it's a little primitive. It is a little bit of primitive, but, it plays kind of like the old Tiger LCD handhelds that came out in the late 80s and early 90s. But it has the same exact quality of the arcade system. Now, the thing is, what was really cool was when I first spotted them, I was buying some stuff for my daughter, and I was in the toy and game aisle at Walmart, and I spotted they had Pac-Man and they had Space Invaders. Pac-Man was number 1 in the series, and Space Invaders was number 2, and Pac-Man looked exactly the same, just as this one right here. And I think what happened was once Pac-Man and Space Invaders started selling, what they did was they went ahead and they're like, okay, we can make these things a little bit better, make them get an emulator to make it look like the arcade system. And what happened was they started bringing out Centipede, they brought out Space Invaders and Q*bert, a revamped version of Pac-Man, which still had that quality of the original Coleco tabletop from the early 1980s. But, without further ado, let's play this bad Oscar, shall we? Don't mind the house, it's a little bit in shambles. I'm helping out doing laundry and things like that. But, as you can see, clothes on the table and everything. Alright, Space Invaders. As you can see, it stands about 4 inches, and it's got the same exact kind of artwork as you saw in the original arcade cabinet way back in the day, back in 1979. And as usual, where the coin slot would really go is the on and off button, and also the volume control. And then you got the 2 buttons here, which is start and pause if you want to pause the game, and the firing cannon. Now let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Well, as you can see, you can't really see it very well because I'm holding a tablet and playing the game at the same time, but as you can hear, it has the sound effects of the original arcade game. You probably can't see the screen. Like I said, it has that LCD kind of quality like the Nintendo Game & Watch series did in the early 80s and the Tiger handheld did in the late 80s, early 90s. But you know what? They're easy to play, easy to hold when you're playing them. And it's real fun to have on the go. I mean, I took this thing with me to work when I first bought it. I'd play at lunchtime. One thing I want to show you, just like the Pac-Man game and the Asteroids game I showed you, it keeps the last highest score. It records the last highest score that you had. And then I have not been able to beat this high score. This game, for some reason, when it knows it's beating you, it likes to go ahead and it likes to shut down and automatically do a game over. And then you got your regular score right here and a time limit and how many lives you have right here down in that corner. But other than that, I became fanatical once I got these games, once I saw these games flooding the market. Because one of the things I was seeing, I was going on YouTube about a couple of years ago, and somebody had taken an old Coleco tabletop Pac-Man, and they stripped it all, gutted it out, the circuitry and everything, and they took what's called a Raspberry Pi circuit board, an emulator, and installed it in there, redid the joysticks and everything. And what they did was they added more games. I mean, you had Nintendo-style games in there. You had the original Coleco LCD games. Yeah, I know, I haven't had a haircut. And they also had Sega games, Super Nintendo, ColecoVision, Intellivision in there. And I thought that this guy made his own circuit board. And I was like, wow. I messaged him. I said, dude, get licensing for these games, because you're sitting on a gold mine right now. I would actually camp out at Target or Walmart or GameStop just for one of these. And he thanked me for it. I mean, it's called a Maine or whatever it is, Raspberry Pi. Look up the videos on YouTube. It's really cool what they've done to those old Colecos. But yeah, I kept on waiting and waiting. When would be the next, what will be the next, arcade classic that they're going to port to one of these cool little machines? And I thought to myself, what will it be? And then all of a sudden, Christmas of 2017, they busted out Q*bert, they busted out Asteroids, they busted out, Frogger, Pac-Man, and, it kept on going on, and I was making videos for you every time I bought one. And, it's just a piece of my childhood, and, I'm lost for words. I'm joyfully flabbergasted, if that makes sense. But yeah, now they've gone ahead and upped the ante. I mean, now that they have a competitor, which is My Arcade, and My Arcade is bringing out more games, and even putting out the games that Basic Fun already has, and then Basic Fun is kind of copying them too. And I've been able to go ahead and do Dare to Compare videos for you. I mean, the most recent Dare to Compare videos I think I did was Dig Dug and Galaga, where I compared both companies and both brands. And it's really cool that all this retro stuff is coming back. I mean, I'm 41 years old, and I got my dad and I got other people looking at me like, gee, don't you think you're a little bit too old for this stuff? I said, no, this is nostalgia to me. Kids don't know what it was like. I mean, just to have one of these things, too bad they didn't make them any smaller in the early 1980s when Coleco was doing them. Well, they did with the Game & Watch series, but, But, yeah, also, I come to find out that Basic Fun, not Basic Fun, but My Arcade is coming out with Elevator Action, and they have Wreck-It Ralph for Basic Fun. And, I'm actually hoping maybe Nintendo will give, either My Arcade and Basic Fun, or maybe both, give them licensing to do some of their old arcade classics they had. I mean, Donkey Kong Jr., Mario Brothers, Popeye, all the classics that Nintendo had to offer in the arcade industry with, making games for ColecoVision, Atari, and, Intellivision. But yeah, again, I have no complaints about these. You can find them at Walmart. And I love the price, which is $19.87. Something about that year in the 1980s. I don't know what it was so pinnacle about 1987. What was really going on, except maybe Lost Boys at the movie theater, Alf on TV. Other than that, it was just a regular year. It's just another year. The 80s are almost over. Blah blah blah. But anyway, and I also have some things in the works where I'm actually going to leave the laboratory. And I got some other games that I have to go ahead and show you and talk about. But I just wanted to go ahead and finally make a video after about 3 years on Space Invaders for Basic Fun Arcades Classics. And I hope you enjoy the videos. I hope you enjoy all my videos. If you're new to the channel, as usual, subscribe, hit that like button, ring the bell right there, and, tell all your friends about it. And, even leave me comments in this comment section. I would love to correspond with you. Well, anyway, this is Dr. Old School saying, I wish you Godspeed, and may the Force be with you.